Hi, we found our way to the one place that every rider wants to end up, the podium. This is the Thundersport GB Championship 2016.
Yes, welcome to Donington Park. We're on the GP circuit today for the penultimate round of the 2016 Championships. We bring you action now from the Sparklight Racing Golden Era Supersport. You can see number 47, Stephen Haddow, on pole position ahead of Chris Helliwell, the champion. Crown champion, of course, last time out, and he has been in solid form all the way through. Thoroughly deserves it. No one's even got close. See there, Carl Foster, last year's champion, as well as come back for a play. Interesting to see how he fares. Number 8 as we get going. And away from the line we go. Not a great start there from Chris Helliwell. They head now down towards turn 1. Haddow might just about have this one ahead of Scanlon as they tip in to turn number 1. 71 there. Robert Goodall out for a play as well. Nice to see Robert back here. Robert, of course, fierce at the front in 2015, as well as Carl Foster and Andy Scanlon here himself. On board now with Chris Helliwell, the champion, as he flies through the old hairpin, trying to make up for lost time. Blimey, he's carving through this lot like a hot knife through butter at the moment. In the early stages, not a great start at all then for the champion, but he means business. He's already trying to filter his way through to the front. There's number 48, Richard Harrison. Just to see Richard out there. Of course, Richie normally taking part in the Golden Era Superbike Championship, but it looks like he's got himself an R6 to play with now. There is number 71, Goodall, then up ahead of Foster, his old rival. There's Ryan Cooper, number 26, and just going through number 68, Nick Wainwright. These guys all know each other incredibly well. Now, as Haddow leads from Scanlon, Helliwell, Goodall. Oh, blimey, who's that just coming through there? Number 27. Jordan Giddings, ambitious, but it works. So he goes past 3 or 4 on the brakes. Sid, there's quite a battle for second place, despite the fact that Helliwell's absolutely dominated. And Nick Wainwright, Andy Scanlon, and Ryan Cooper. Not a lot of points separating those 3.
No, they've been battling away all season, really, haven't they? And Andy Scanlon has been struggling with his shoulder injury, obviously. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see the battles that they've got there. And of course, these lads on the Steelsport bikes, they've been up there at the front with the Supersport bikes on occasion as well. This guy in the front here, Stephen Haddow, he's obviously from Scotland with the Scottish contingent. Big bunch of them up from Scotland this year at Donington Park. And 1 or 2 champions amongst them as well. You can see there some interviews with those on a separate show that we're doing. But yeah, I'm absolutely delighted with this class, Dave, as we said.
Yeah, grows from round to round, really. Really interesting to see how many people fly through. We just saw, speaking of flying through, Chris Helliwell absolutely storming past Andy Scanlon to move up into second place. So Stephen Haddow at the moment has given himself a bit of a handicap at the front, and he's going to need it because Chris Helliwell's coming. There is the lead. There's Haddow. There's Helliwell. Helliwell the champion. Scanlon in second. Cooper there in fourth place. Sorry. Nick Wainwright then in 5th. Just going up the inside of him is Goodall. Then it's Giddings, number 27. Up ahead of 48, Richie Harrison. Further back, we just saw a brilliant battle going on in the Steelsport between Biswell and Langley. They were side by side, sitting each other up into Redgate Corner. Of course, they're fighting it out for that Steelsport Championship that Biswell currently leads.
I think Biswell will take some catching there. I mean, Langley slipped up a couple of times this year. Chris Spink's really not got into it anymore. He's obviously last year's champion, and he didn't do all the rounds. So, but yeah, I mean, Dave Langley could mathematically do it, of course, but it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it is going to be tough. It doesn't look like it's going to stop them from fighting. There's Rob Morby, just up ahead of Carl Foster. There is Biswell, number 35, the black and yellow and blue machine. Another rider who's got his machine up for sale, ready to sell ahead of next year. So I wonder what project Mark Biswell is looking to take on for next season.
Who knows? Who knows? Something that has just happened though, Steve. Stephen Haddo has just broken the lap record.
Wow, well, I must admit, as soon as Helliwell got through to second place, I thought he'd make light work of this. But that is really good going there from Stephen Haddo. So he's got the hammer down. Scanlon up ahead of Cooper, and then Nick Wainwright. So they're the three guys that are fighting for second overall in the championship. Then it's Goodall, Morby, number 53, up ahead of Giddings, and number 8, last year's Golden Era Supersport champion. Of course, perhaps lacking a bit of race practice, short race practice, should we say, Carl Foster. But these guys, if they're on this sort of lap record pace, then it's not surprising really to see this sort of result. The gap coming down at the front, despite the fact that Haddo just posted that brilliant lap.
But that's just one lap, isn't it? The thing that Chris is good at, to be fair to him, is he'll string lots of fast laps together very, very consistently, and that is probably the thing that is making the difference here.
Yeah, of course, that's something that Chris Helliwell in the past hadn't always been brilliant at, was that consistency.
No, he's good at crashing is what he was.
But he's sorted that out now, and he really has been on the money all year. There is Rob Morby then, up ahead of Carl Foster, 2 champions from last year. Rob Morby, the Thundersport 500 senior champion, Carl Foster, last year's Golden Era Supersport. Now these two continue to fight, both on Honda steel frames. Biswell and Langley side by side further back. 35 riders out there, and those guys at present are both inside the top 10, which is good going. Yamaha's still very much the weapon of choice in this category at the moment. In fact, you'd have to go a long way down the list to find... Oh dear, someone's gone for a little bit of grass trekking.
That was
there.
Stephen Haddo.
Ah.
Yeah, he's...
Now then, that is big. Stephen Haddo's massive lead has been completely and utterly interrupted. So, there you go. Having set the fastest lap of the race, the new lap record, Stephen Haddo has got it all to do again now. And of all the people to try and chase down, Chris Helliwell will not be easy to find.
Chris Helliwell was only a 10th off Haddo's time there, so he would have been the holder, young Chris. But of course, Haddo had both races yesterday, won both of them, and so he's no mug, that's for sure. We have to remember, I don't exactly know how many times he's been at this circuit, of course, but as I say, the Scottish clubs...
Oh, he nearly went off there, and he's had a couple of big moments, Haddo, and he might just have to roll off. You get the feeling that he's angry with himself, and he's trying to now get past and catch up again with Helliwell, but I think he might be biting off a bit more than he can chew now in this race.
Well, of course, we don't know what he's done with tyres, do we, Steve? I mean, he's had sort of 3 great races on this bike, and with qualifying, we don't know how many tyres he's supplied himself, do we?
No, but then just a simple mistake and everything can go wrong. We're on board here with Andy Scanlon, and that's up the inside is Ryan Cooper. Of course, looking at it from the opposite side, Chris Helliwell, as the champion, won't want to get pounded and beaten by Stephen Haddo in every single race either. On board again here with Scanlon. This is important for the championship in terms of who gets second overall. Here is your champion of the year and leading this race, mainly due to the fact that Stephen Haddo went on. There's no way of knowing whether or not Helliwell would have closed that gap to Haddo. You don't have a crystal ball, but Haddo's had 2 big moments now, and he himself would have to wait for a moment from Helliwell to be able to close that gap down. So it doesn't look like it's going to be 3 wins out of 3 for the Scotsman. There is Ryan Cooper. Nick Wainwright closing in on the pair of them as well. So that's the battle for 3rd place. There's number 55. It's Adam Darnell, who's made some progress in this race. gradually found his way through.
Well, of course, he's on a Sparklight Racing low bike, same as Chris Helliwell, but he did dump it in a monumental way yesterday, and they have spent all night, and I mean all night, repairing that bike, which is why it's got different colour fairings on it.
Different colour fairings, and the rear seat unit's flapping around like
a
dog's tail at the moment. Here we go then on board with Andy Scanlon as he looks to go up the inside of Cooper into Coppice, and that was close. He had to back out of that one last minute because his nose would have been chopped off by Cooper. These guys have got to be careful as well because Nick Wainwright is waiting just behind them. There he is, closing in. They just come up on some traffic there. It's number 95, David White. Nick Wainwright. Oh!
Bit harsh.
Well, there you go. That happens sometimes. Nick Wainwright was desperate to try and get through. He knows he's catching Scanlon and Cooper and just collides with the tail ender. The last lap flag is out. Helliwell should have this one in the bag. He'll be delighted to pick up a win, despite the fact he's already champion. Stephen Haddo will have to do for the second place for now, but who will get third between Scanlon and Cooper? It's Nick Wainwright, a rider you have to throw into that picture as well. At the moment it's Cooper, 26 from 24 Scanlon and 68 Wainwright, who has, on the last 3 laps, closed this gap significantly. He won't have chance to do it in the early stages of the lap. Further back there is Carl Foster and Rob Borby. They're in 8th and 9th. They're behind Steelsport rider Mark Biswell, who is doing a fine job of extending that gap in his championship. Good riding from the 2 guys out front then. Chris Helliwell not made any mistakes. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Stephen Haddo, but they've been best riders out there. This is now for the championship. The 3 guys fighting for second overall are right in front of your very eyes. Cooper on board with Scanlon here in 4th place and Wainwright just behind, and they are all going to use each other's slipstream on the back straight. Here we go. Scanlon, don't think he's going to have enough room to get through right now. Here comes Wainwright, and he's going from all the way back in 5th up to 3rd, a block pass. It's tight through there, and he has managed that perfectly. Bit crafty. Here comes Scanlon though. He's trying to get back past Wainwright and will try and outbrake him. He's going to have a go! Whoa. And he surely touches the back wheel there or something. It was close. Cooper and Scanlon will carry on fighting then. They're out front, the checker flag's out. Helliwell storms it. He takes that win. He's over the moon. Stephen Haddo should come across the line in 2nd place in just a moment. And in 3rd place it's going to be Nick Wainwright and Scanlon. What a messy last lap it's been, or has it? Well, hard to call that. Scanlon in the end will have to put up with 5th place. He'll be really gutted about that. But some crafty riding from Nick Wainwright there, going into the foggy S's to get the job done and take a precious 3rd place. Cooper 4th, Scanlon 5th. Adam Darnell was 6th. There you see top 3 in the Supersport. Helliwell, Haddo and Wainwright, and Biswell the winner ahead of Spink and Langley in the Steelsport.
We have had some fantastic wins this year, Mark, but you must have been wondering when they were going to come round again.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. I wasn't expecting to be on the pace like this at all. It's been really good fun racing with Dave, racing with Chris Spink. I'm getting quite accustomed to being up on the podium now. I like it, and I get really disappointed when I'm not on it. But I struggled a bit yesterday. I just could not find my rhythm. I was all over the place. But something's clicked overnight. I don't know what I had for dinner, but I'm having it again because it's definitely worked. Yeah, really good. Fingers crossed I can have another go in the next one.
Excellent. Have you got some sponsors to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that's helped out throughout the season. Joe at Kappa Consult, Troy at VES, Darren at RPAS Photography. Trying to remember them now, they're on the bike. Coffee to Go, Enterprise Vehicle Hire for doing us a deal on a van so I could get here. There's loads of people. Everybody that's come along, there's quite a few people come along for this weekend. The support's huge, so it really helps.
Nick, that was a really, really great race. I mean, there's been some fantastic racing this weekend, to be fair, but that looked brilliant.
It was, to be fair, we got mugged at the start. I think we was back down to 6th, 7th place. It wasn't until, maybe sort of like 6th, 7th lap Andy Scanlon and Ryan Cooper, that was right on me. I managed to mug them. Sorry guys, foggy S's, but like I say, again, the class is absolutely phenomenal. You know, the riders out there, each and every one of them are, you know, they're just a cut above. But really enjoyed that one. Like I say, worked hard this weekend, 2 podiums yesterday. To get on it again in this sort of class of rider it's a pleasure. It really is.
Well, I mean, this is a fantastic class, there's no doubt about it, and the bikes are all riding, all look great, you look great, the racing's great. Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Mark Wainwright of Paints Fiction Race Paints. Again, bikes meticulously prepared for this weekend. Andy Gaze of Intergear, without his support, we wouldn't look as nice as what we do, so thanks Andy. John Warrington of John Warrington Motorcycles, Malton, again, you know, he's built the motors for us, they're absolutely fantastic. And Paul Raper of East Riding Group, again, he supported us with tyres this year, so thanks to all of them guys. Without them, it'd be impossible to do the full championship. So yeah, thanks guys. Obviously thanks to Thundersport for putting on such a great show again. Brilliant, thank you.
Stephen, second place. You had a couple of wins yesterday, which was absolutely fantastic. I know you've come down to this round all the way from Scotland. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I've been enjoying myself, getting to learn the track and get up front and fight for some wins. And I made a few mistakes in that race, but I just kind of settled for second once I made the big mistake and run wide. I could only settle. I tried to get Chris, but he was too far in front and I was sliding about, so we'll settle for second and try and go for the win for the next race.
Sounds like a bit of confidence to me. Who have you got that you'd like to thank?
I've got Johnny Williamson Electrical, I've got Smith Andersons, I've got Cooper Bairns and Transmissions Limited, SJH Bodyworks, Apache Steers Sports Physio, Mercedes Western Commercials, all my family, all my friends, everybody that's helped me out this weekend and all through the season.
Skid Marks Halliwell, 2016 champion. I'm sure that you don't mind keep hearing that over and over, but I know you had a bit of trouble this weekend. It's not been the best weekend so far, strangely enough, so great that you tied the championship up earlier, but fantastic race actually behind you. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, a shocking day yesterday. I know Gary had a bad day as well. Me and Mr. Adam created a mess for him. He threw it down at Craner and got 6 well done to him. And my chain came off and hit the case, and it smashed a massive hole in there. And basically it were irreparable. We said that's it this weekend. If I just quickly, Nath, I just want to say a massive thank you to Nath, and that's for you, mate, because this week I wouldn't have been riding without this weekend. So thank you so much. All right, Nathan Team Army. All right.
It's unbelievable sportsmanship, and thank you, Nathan. Yeah, absolutely, from us as well, but that is the kind of camaraderie that's in this paddock, isn't it?
Yeah. Without him, I wouldn't have been racing. Somebody offered me like a standard bike. I said, look, I don't want to go out and do anything wrong. I'm happy with my bike. And he won't run. He's done it, and he's can't believe he's run 2 races yesterday. I know I've run it yesterday and had some more problems, fixed it. We both broke that record, me and the Scottish lad, really quick. We ran a right good battle. Came from 5th. I was shocking start. Enjoyed it fully, and thank you to everybody who's helped me this year. Without you guys, obviously I wouldn't be here. So
we'll be back in just a few moments to see if Halliwell can make it 2 out of 2 here on TV Sunday. Welcome back to Donington Park. It is the Sparklight Racing Golden Era Supersport Race 2. Chris Helliwell, the champion, won the earlier encounter after Stephen Haddo went wide and then almost high-sided. He'll try and put that right here as we get towards the end of the day at Donington. Here is Andy Scanlon, dropped to 5th in the end in race 1. He'll be really disappointed with that. What can he make of race 2? Carl Foster's here, last year's champion. There's Ryan Cooper. He was 4th. We are missing Helliwell. Helliwell is not here on the grid, and that is interesting. Whether or not he's just decided not to race, who knows? But, well, that won't give Mr. Haddo an awful lot of competition then here in this race. Maybe he's already celebrating his race win. Haddo gets the whole shot into turn 1. Looked like Nick Wainwright was up into 2nd place. There is number 55, Adam Darnell. He'll have to do some work again from all the way back there if he's to feature up in the top 5 or 6 again. Haddo here, well, he's got out front, and that could be bye-bye. He was on lap record pace. Sorry, he took the lap record earlier on in that first race, and with no Chris Helliwell to play with, I can't see where the next fight is coming from. A few riders going a bit slow there, coming out of the old hairpin. Looks like there's a few spots of rain that have materialised earlier. So, a bit of a damp circuit in places, which might make it slightly tricky for some. Not all riders like it. When it's like this, of course, it's Haddo that has the advantage from Wainwright and Andy Scanlon. These two going at it in the last race as well, as they tip into the foggy S's. Chris Helliwell then. We'll see what Chris does next time out. Heard that there's a possibility that Chris Helliwell might have actually gone out there on the wrong tyres, given the weather conditions, and so he's opted out of the race. Sits here with me in the commentary box, and so often we go to circuits around the country and around the world, Sid, and you have these dilemmas. It looks like the wrong decision has been made.
Well, I mean, they went out on the warm-up lap, and it rained, and there was a delay, and then, as usual happens in this country, the sun's come out, and it's then you're faced with a damp track. And what do? Do you leave the wets on? Will it rain again? Could do. And I mean, it could have been a masterstroke for Chris, but I think they had the wets on. You can see the wet there, but the sun has actually blistered through, and it's as dry as you like. So there's absolutely no point in him lining up on the grid for what effectively is a rerun, although the first run never actually got going, you know.
It's a gamble that hasn't paid off then for Chris Helliwell. Sometimes when you're looking at a situation like this and the circuit's slightly wet, it's drying, surely you're best to just sometimes go for that dry option. It's a bit of a gamble waiting for it to rain, but you never know, it could have paid off. It just hasn't on this occasion as Scanlon goes up underneath Wainwright. Of course, we'll see Chris Helliwell out, I'm sure, at the final round. We'll see him at times next year as well, as he looks to try and go up a gear and take on the Sportsman Elite 600. That will not be an easy class for Helliwell. He's been there before, but we'll wait and see what he can do in that. Here is your leader then, Stephen Haddo. There ain't no stopping him this time. Lapping, what, a good 3-4 seconds slower than they were going earlier, which gives you an indication as to what the track conditions are like out there. They're far from perfect, but they're not that far away. Here is Wainwright, Scanlon, and Biswell doing a brilliant job there in 4th place. Really has just come on to another level, Mark Biswell, who broke the lap record in the Steelsports earlier on in race 1. David Langley, his nearest rival in terms of the championship. At the moment, can't keep up with Biswell. And Ryan Cooper's having a nightmare race and maybe not really confident in these conditions, unlike his 2 championship rivals that we're looking at here, as Scanlon bravely goes around the outside of Wainwright, which in turn will give him the inside line going around McLean's. And look who's closing in on this lot. Mark Biswell wants a piece of the action on his steel frame Honda CBR 600. Going brilliantly. There's number 12 a bit further back. That's Ian Lawton. in the top 8. Sam Nicholson, number 2, up ahead of Carl Vickers, number 87. Sam Nicholson could have been in with a shout of a top 3 finish in this championship earlier on, and still not mathematically completely out of it, but he would need quite a few hiccups from the 3 above him to have a real say in that. There's your race leader, Haddo.
It's a good shot, Steve, with the old plane in the background. Look at that.
Yep, the planes that come straight over the circuit here at Donington Park. It's a regular feature. See another one just coming in behind it as well. Funny, isn't it? There's been some riders that claim that it doesn't do the circuit any good, that it must put all various fluids on the circuit and it's not great. I remember the great John Kaczynski absolutely hated coming to Donington Park. He had so many theories in his head about what the planes coming over the circuit was doing, but all in all, I don't think it's really been a problem. It's a magnificent circuit. Who cares if there's an airport next door?
It's very handy, actually.
As long as they don't land on the Dunlop Straight, I'm not really too bothered.
It has happened, of course, it would have done.
I'm sure. There is Andy Scanlon then, just up ahead of Nick Wainwright for now. Wainwright won over on him earlier. Look like they're on for 2nd and 3rd place at the moment. Their rival, Cooper, will not play a part in that battle. Oof. It's a bit close there. Sam Nicholson won't have known much about that, but number 87, Carl Vickers, our Royal Marine rider, almost went straight on through Crane of Curves then. But Stephen Haddo, well, he's looking over his shoulder already, Sid. He could park this up.
He's looking like he's wondering if he's got enough time to roll a fag. Well, he's on the straight.
He's definitely got a bit of class as Stephen Haddo. He's looking very, very good indeed. There is number 65 then, David Langley, 2nd in the steel frames. A solid 20 points on for him if he stays there, which of course limits the damage of what Biswell can do to him. There is Biswell, 4th on circuit. Trying to think what the best effort is from a steel frame rider in a Golden Era Supersport race. There won't be too many performances better than the one you're looking at here from Biswell.
Biswell came 2nd, didn't he, somewhere? I think.
May well have done. Maybe in the wet somewhere, I'm not sure. But either way, good effort from Biswell. They make their way, of course, now down through Crane of Curves. There is 27. That's Jordan Giddings from Alveston on the Flash Racing machine. There is Kyle Foster, last year's champion. Just getting embroiled in a battle with number 87, Carl Vickers from Dunfermline. Back to another rider hailing from Scotland, Stephen Haddo, number 47. Kennaway on the SH Racing Yamaha. Sid mentioned it. There's a full clang of them here this weekend, and there is Ryan Cooper. Ryan Cooper would be upset that he's not been able to get on terms with the group ahead of him. Funnily enough, Andy Scanlon and Nick Wainwright in 2nd and 3rd place have been lapping quicker than the race leader, so the conditions are improving as we go through this race, but they're not going to have enough time to completely catch him. I think Haddo's winding things down now. It's going to be shut up shop. He's happy enough. There's a rider just on the left there that looks in a bit of pain. That's obviously gone down. We've lost a few riders in this race so far. Martin Bloomfield went missing on lap 1. Chris Spink as well. Not sure who that was just on the left a moment ago, as we see a few changes here on circuit. Last lap flag is out. Stephen Haddo can cruise home to victory. Just got a couple of tail enders to deal with. First up, the rookie ahead of him, Max Wilmot. 2nd place. That battle continuing between Andy Scanlon and Nick Wainwright. Andy Scanlon will be keen to stay where he is. Ryan Cooper here, number 26, behind Biswell. He's on for 5th place overall. Shame that we weren't able to see another fight between Haddo and Helliwell. Didn't really get to see it in race 1 either, because of the mistake from Haddo, but no mistakes this time. He's now coming up to put a lap on a former Thundersport champion, Street Fighter C champion quite a few years ago there, Brad Davey. 2014 from Abingdon on that Motivation Ducati 748. Nice to see the Ducatis out there in the Golden Era Supersport. Of course, Ducati themselves are just bringing out a brand new Supersport machine, which is good to hear for Ducati fans. There is David Langley then, trying to find a way past Giddings, and Haddo just going through the motions. This is it then, just a couple of corners left for him, and he'll have 3 wins out of 4. He's slowed quite a lot on this last lap. Might have just given Andy Scanlon a slight glimmer of hope. When he looks over his shoulder, he knows that he's got this one in the bag. It will be a good second place though for Andy Scanlon. It will give him a confidence boost as we head over into Lincolnshire. The checkered flag is out here at Donington Park, and that's it for the Sparklight Racing Golden Era Supersports this weekend at Donington. Haddo wins it from Scanlon. Third place will go to Nick Wainwright. Fourth, and the win in the Steelsports there for Mark Biswell as well. So well done to Mark. He extends his championship lead, and he is more than one hand on that championship trophy. Haddo wins from Scanlon, Wainwright and Biswell then. In 5th place, Ryan Cooper, and in 6th, Jordan Giddings. Top 3 on the podium there, Haddo in the middle, Scanlon on the left, Wainwright on the right, and in the steel frame, Mark Biswell on the top step. Alongside him, David Langley and Brad Davey. Championship points, there you see, Chris Halliwell, we already knew, champion. Still all to play for second, although it's advantage Nick Wainwright ahead of Andy Scanlon and Ryan Cooper. And in the Steelsport, well, still a bit of work to do for Mark Biswell when we head to Cadwell, but he could be crowned champion on the first day ahead of David Langley.
Nick, great to see a smile on your face. You've got one of the biggest smiles in the paddock, but what a great race. I mean, obviously you had to go out there earlier and then it had to be called off, and, you know, that didn't disturb you at all, though?
No, I mean, it's always a little bit of a worry, isn't it, when you get out there on dry tyres and the heavens open, but yeah, like I say, we went back out. It was a bit of a gamble. Some people went on wets, we went on full dries, paid off. Again, hard race. Steve's been absolutely brilliant this weekend. Had some great battles with Andy Scanlon as well. Just couldn't quite catch him then. Well done to Andy as well. But really enjoyed the weekend. It's been great fun. Really has.
Sponsors?
Like to say thanks again, massive thanks to Mark Wainwright. Bikes again, phenomenal. John Warrington Motorcycles of Malton. Paul Raper of East Riding Group, and Andy Gaze of Intergear. Without those guys, it'd be impossible to do. So thanks a lot to them guys. Thank you. Andy,
well, it seems like you got there in the end.
Eventually, yeah. Not through lack of trying. Bad day yesterday, 2 DNFs. Put a hole in number 1 engine, which wasn't great, and then I threw it away chasing Nick on the second race. Done better the first one today. Ended up with a 5th. Good battle between Nick and Ryan. Like, we're all fighting for those championship points, and luckily on that one I think I just got the better of him. But I made up. Really needed that one to get my confidence back after a bit of a sore weekend for me. But now happy. Just get ready for Cadwell now.
You'll need to thank some people who've helped you, no doubt.
Definitely, yeah. First off, the army lads who came over and they bunged up the hole in the engine. Nice one. Beers are always in ours if you need them. My dad, massively. I wouldn't be here without him. He's like number 1 team member apart from me. I got detail in my car, perfect coating, Headley body shop, Pooterline motorcycle oils. All of them helped out to get us here. And to AK Photography, sorted out a few bits and a cracking picture today.
Well, another win, 3 out of 4. Pretty good, mate.
Yeah, can't complain with that one. Had a good weekend, better than I expected. My goal was podiums this weekend, but to win most of them, it's been a really good weekend, and the lap record just the icing on the cake.
Absolutely, and so you'll come and see us again, do you think?
Yeah, I will possibly be next year at some point. I'm hopefully going to try road racing next year, so that's my aim, is to go and have a little shot at the roads. But if I've got fun, then I'll come and do a Thundersport round.
Excellent. And before you go, a final word for sponsors?
Sponsors: Jai Williamson Electrical, Smith Anderson's, Cooper Burns and Transmissions, SJH Bodyworks, Apache's Tears Sports Physio, Western Commercial Edinburgh, and just all my friends and family that's helped me all this year. I couldn't have done it without them.
Well, you look worn out. I don't know if it's your racing or all the silver you're carrying home.
It's definitely the racing. Yeah, I don't know what's working at the minute. All I know is I'm giving it 110% every time I get on the bike, and yeah, it's showing just how knackered I am after every single race. Yeah, I should probably give up the pies and the burgers and things like that. I might get on a bit better, but yeah, it's been a wicked, really, really good weekend. Brilliant results, good for the championship as well. From my point of view, yesterday, Dave was riding really well yesterday and clawed some points back, but I think we're back to where we were before we got to this weekend. So yeah, it's all to play for at Cadwell. See what happens. Give it everything I can, really.
It's where the story ends at Cadwell, eh? Can't believe it's round so quickly, can we? But you got some sponsors to thank, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody's been a great help. I got a real crowd of people here this weekend helping out. Big thanks on that one to my dad and my uncle for helping me change the front wheel right at the last minute, because I decided a wet would be a good idea because of the rain we had, and then right at the last minute realised it was bone dry, so we did the quickest front wheel change I've ever done in my life. But yeah, everybody that's come along and helped, Joe at Kappa Consult, Troy at VES, Darren and his family at RPAS, special thanks to Megan and Josh for coming along all the time and helping out. Coffee to Go, ANC Soda Blasting, A41 Autos, Energy Auto Care, just everybody that sort of helps out. It's good fun, and it's become a big family that love coming bike racing. So.
We certainly do love coming bike racing, and we've still got one round to go. Join us for the final round at Cadwell Park next month.